Welcome to The Third Chair, a show about real people, real stories, real life. And here are your hosts for The Third Chair, Peter Grigg and Doug Bazeski.
Well, what did you think of the Kym Welton interview last week?
We had fun, and
was there anything that surprised you about her?
How young she looked, because she's accomplished so much. She was,
Yeah, boy, you're so right.
In Homeland Security, she was an executive. She was in the Army. She,
author and working in the financial services industry.
I mean, all those are difficult areas.
Welton
and she's
Financial
done it
Group
without a college education.
That was very impressive.
Yeah.
Do you know what really impressed me is that she was able to work with her husband without the two of them fighting.
That is even more impressive.
Yeah, it's like almost a miracle.
My wife and I, we went to Mill Dog together, and
I couldn't run a business with my wife. We're just two different people.
Sometimes, a lot of times we went to separate areas, and that was okay. Okay, I'll work over here.
Yeah. I sure get it. Well, we can ask her more about that tonight. Please welcome Kym Welton. We are fortunate to have Kym Welton from the Wilton Financial Group and entrepreneur in her own right. And I just was thinking, Kym, before I ask you the question I told you I was going to ask you, are you working on a book right now?
I did start my book, and I had actually, Peter, I stopped. I put it on pause. Just with the move and having so much going on, I actually put it on pause. But yes, I do have a book in the works.
I thought I read on one of your social media posts that you had started working on it. Tell us what's that about? Or is that secret?
No, it's not a secret. I actually, when I was working as a government executive, I really had a tough time. It was the environment was a little, I don't know if I could say this, but it was a hostile work environment, very fast up tempo. A lot of people didn't get along, and it was extremely stressful. Mm-hmm. So Primerica wasn't only a wonderful opportunity, it really saved my life, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But the environment that I was in every day for multiple hours, it was just weighing so heavily on me. And I would cry, and I would tell my husband, I can't do this anymore, and I need to find something else to do. And he said, journal it. Write it down, and you'll feel better, at least until we can figure out what we're going to do next. Write it down. And I started to do that. And I will tell you that it is one of the funniest experiences. Now, looking back, I can laugh. But you ever hear people say, you just can't make this stuff up? Yeah. It's so true. You just can't make this stuff up. So I journaled it, and I thought, I'm going to turn this into a book. It's not me per se. It's a pseudo me. But there are things that happened in that environment that are funny that you just wouldn't believe it. I've changed all names, all characters, but that's basically the book.
Well, when people leave the CIA, if they're going to post a book, they have to have the agency especially review it and be happy with it. Do you think I'll have to do some kind of process like that?
Not for satire. I think they'll be okay with this, other than saying it here, being recorded. they may not know.
You won't tell anybody.
Tell no one.
And what I also hear in that story, besides journaling is good for you and looking back and laugh, even though it was hard at the time, but having the courage to change, because maybe in some ways that job was comfortable and secure in some ways, even if it was a pain in the ass, but having the courage to do something different.
I joined Primerica at 41 years old. And I had 22 years of military and government experience. That's all I had ever done for 22 years. I have no formal education. I didn't come from money. I didn't know how to do anything outside of that besides a small business that I mentioned previously. So this was a leap of faith. And it was something that I saw and believed in immediately. I saw the value. I want to be able to help other people, again, that were in my situation. But again, at 41 years old, it's not the easiest decision to say, I'm going to quit everything I know, this high paid position. And as a GS-14, and my husband was a 15, and I quit that to start an entirely new venture from the ground up. And then I got him out of his job as well.
So you're like a command master chief, command sergeant, way up there. What rank is that? Admiral? General?
That, I think I was a lieutenant colonel equivalent and he was a colonel equivalent.
Wow.
Chief bottle washers. Chief bottle washers.
Wow, you are one of the smartest people I've ever met. And there's lots of ways of accumulating knowledge besides going to a university and spending a lot of money on studies that doesn't teach you anything. Moving on to something a tad lighter, and that is, they say we become the average of the 5 people we hang out with. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree. And we jokingly say in our business, if you're hanging out with 5 broke people, what are you? Number 6. So, and it's wealth is more than just money. It's freedom. It's education. You know, if you are constantly trying to learn and do something in the world, you want to surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction as you. And that's, you know, if you're being held back in life, if you don't feel like you're getting the traction that you should be getting, then take a look around. What are you doing every day? What are you listening to? What are you watching? Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah, that's interesting because we sort of hang around with people that don't help us, not necessarily in the flesh, but by what books we read, what shows we watch, what YouTube channels we do. There's lots of ways to hang out with people that don't help us.
Yep, I agree. It's comfort.
Yeah. Speaking of books, what books are you reading right now? Are you reading any books?
I am a reader, and Peter knows this about me. I have very strong dyslexic characteristics. I am severely dyslexic, albeit I am a lover of reading, and I'm currently reading The E-Myth, which is a book about small businesses. Mike Gerber, I believe the author's name is. I'm currently reading that, and I just finished Cash Flow Quadrant, and I think I'm on my 8th book for the year. My goal was 12, but I should get to 10.
Yeah, that ebook is really remarkable because, if I remember right, one of the main lessons is you don't want to spend too much time in your business being the technician rather than working on your business rather than in your business.
That's exactly right.
The big point that I got out of it.
It's a phenomenal book, and you don't even realize some of the things that you could be doing you could be acting as a technician thinking that you're the entrepreneur when really you have these manager characteristics too. So it's phenomenal for any small business.
Nice.
And what other books in the past have led you down this path that you've read in the last 5 years or what you are today?
Number 1, the Bible. For me personally, I read my Bible, so that there's a lot of leadership lessons. There's a lot of talk about money. There's a lot of talk about character. So first and foremost, I've read a book called Jesus CEO, which is all about leadership and how to lead others so that they follow you. People will call themselves a leader, but nobody's following them. So if you're going to be impactful, people have to want to voluntarily follow you. I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People, the 5 a.m. Club.
That's one of my favorite books.
Yes.
The 5 a.m. Club. How to win friends and influence people.
How to Win Friends. Yeah. I think they should make that a mandatory read in school.
Yeah, they should.
Maybe
this 5 a.m. club business, I gotta say, there are sometimes I just do better work late at night, and getting up at 5 a.m. just doesn't work as well. I don't know. What have you found about that?
I think what it comes down to is whatever your schedule, maximize the hours that you're awake. And so whatever that means, some people may not wake up at 5, but they wake up a little bit later, but they stay up later too. And so it just depends on your personal clock, right? What is your circadian rhythm for each person? It just depends on each individual. So I am a firm believer in that. But I also enjoy what Kobe Bryant's message was about waking up early every day. He woke up on average 2 hours earlier than any other ball player. And he hit the gym and he practiced, and he had 2 hours already before anybody got to the gym. If you multiply that each week, by each month, by each year, he was years and decades ahead of people who he was competing against. So maximizing the hours that you're awake, I think, is the number one point to that. I do wake up early. I do want to be ahead of the game. I want to be the first one to get work done. And when I do that, I see huge gains in my business and personal life.
Well, the 5 a.m. club, that was, sort of the idea of an hour early, 20 minutes for exercise, 20 minutes for like reading whatever, and 20 minutes for like meditation and spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more about that and Kobe Bryant when we come back.
I can't believe that we've hit 40 episodes.
Yes, I knew it because I knew it was a number between 39 and 41.
Yeah, you auditors are always the same. Yeah, that's quite an exciting achievement for the company. We've been putting one up a week since, I guess, around March.
And now we even expanded. We got 2 guests on location, and then we talked to a lady in Los Angeles live.
Yeah, so the kinds of places we went, Twin Lakes, where we did the Amy and Colorado Tight Flies episode.
And she did fly fishing. I mean, we filmed
that.
I
ran for cover. And we managed to get that episode in like right before a major storm hit. It was amazing.
And we went to a barber shop, and you ran for cover again when the scissors came out?
I ran for cover, yeah.
Or you either ran to that or the gum machine.
I couldn't believe I couldn't get a gumball that night. But that was just a riot filming on location, but a little extra work carrying the equipment around.
A little extra work, but I think it's worth it.
I think so too.
All the 3 of those episodes are great.
I think that that's one of the things for the future. We're very excited about contacting people that may be out of town or in town that work at an interesting location that wouldn't be mind filmed on location, as long as you have a story to tell.
And everybody has a story to tell.
I think you're so right. So please follow us on social media, and let's get back to our episode. Welcome to the third chair. I'm Peter. This is Doug, your co-host, and we have the pleasure of having Kym Welton of the Wilton Financial Group, an entrepreneur in her own right, joining us from Arizona. Kym, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, where we left off, Kobe Bryant.
He talked about him getting up 2 hours early to practice and have you heard of the 10,000 hour theory? Malcolm Gladwell wrote a book about it. That if you do something for 10,000 hours, you master it.
Yes.
Is that part of like what Toastmasters? I mean, I don't know. You don't spend 10,000 hours, but you keep repeating, and you start to master. I mean, you start to get more relaxed, and you eliminate some of the things that are, you mentioned as distractions earlier.
Right. I think practice really does help a lot. It doesn't make perfect per se, but it does help quite a bit. There were some funny things that I was told I could do to enhance my speaking ability, which I find very uncomfortable, but talking to yourself in the mirror, presenting in the mirror. And you know what, Peter, the first time I did that, the first time I was on PFN TV with our company, I practiced and practiced and practiced. And I practiced saying, good morning, everybody. Hello, everybody. I did it. And I was so confident. And I got on that stage. I was mic'd up, the camera crew's there. There's a huge crowd, national TV. And I went, hello, so it doesn't always help.
One of the keys of public speaking is if you do something like that, you have to have the ability to make fun of yourself.
Yes, and that is on record forever. I can send you the link because it's still published. But I had to laugh. All I could do was laugh.
But you went out there and did it, and you learned from it. And I think part of being successful is not viewing what we do so much as failures as just learning opportunities, and not letting it sort of wreck our self-esteem. We just count it up as a lesson learned and move on.
And move on, exactly. Get better next time.
Get better next time. For all they know, that they may have thought that you intended to do that to be funny.
Prayers, yes, I hope so.
The only danger is sometimes in doing humor is sometimes you have to do a humorous speech. And one guy said, I only get nervous when I have to do a humorous speech because people expect me to be funny and then they don't laugh as much. So you're speaking of books in the last segment. Do you have a favorite author that you've gone through, read a few?
Let me think. Who did I put down in my notes? Oh, I don't know if she's my favorite author necessarily, but my favorite all-time book is The Color Purple. And Alice Walker was the author of The Color Purple. It was a book that I read in high school. It was really eye-opening reading that book. And I think what was most fascinating was, especially suffering from a learning disability and dyslexia, I was captivated by that book and really leaned into it. It's a spiritual aspect. It's there's just the way she wrote this book. It is an epistolary novel, which means it's all written letters. So it's a letter after letter after letter. So the main character writes letters to God, writes letters to her sister, writes letters to herself. But the format, I think, was the best part of that book for me. And so that really got me interested in reading. I think that was probably a big thing for me to start reading more.
Do you read some fiction? Because you read a lot of nonfiction now.
Not a whole lot. I really, if I'm being honest, I don't. I'm hungry to learn. I'm in a constant state of wanting to learn something, know something. So fiction is great, but I'm hungry to learn something all the time. I know that sounds boring.
Have you ever seen the movie The Color Purple?
I have. Yes, I still cry. It's pretty emotional.
Oh, did you compare the movie to the book?
The book is 1,000 times better. The book really gives you answers that the movie doesn't. The movie is exceptional. I love the movie. But just like with any book, it has more details and you understand why certain things are happening and the thoughts that are going through her head.
Okay. So you grew up in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like the south side of L.A.?
Yeah, the greater, not so great LA area. It's, I love LA. I love California. But, I didn't come from money. So I didn't come from the places that most people will go there if they're a tourist. I lived in some of the other places. So it's a hard life. I was blessed. I had a great mom. I had a great family. I was very well loved. I was provided for. But I've seen a lot. Especially as a youngster, I saw quite a bit. And so moving back to, I've seen quite a bit of crime. Yeah, unfortunately. So it's not a place I wanted to live forever just because of that experience. And I didn't really want to raise my children there.
What message did you have for people that maybe are there, maybe they're young adults and thinking about wanting to get out to a different part of the country. Did you have any special message that resonated so with you personally?
I would say get out of your comfort zone. The best thing I had ever done for myself was, and it couldn't, I mean, even if it wasn't California, any state, I mean, when you grow up in a certain area, you got to go see the world, go to other states, go to places that you've heard or read about, get some experience outside of just your little comfort zone. So leaving California was huge for me. That's when I joined the Army. I've been to countless states, countless countries. I would say, if you want to go back, that's great, but get out of your comfort zone and go see some things.
Do you know how many states you've been to?
I think we just counted not that long ago. I want to say I've been to, I know it's in the 40s, but I know we wrote them all down. I'm thinking 47.
Wow. So you don't have many to go to 50.
I don't. I know. I need to look at my list to make sure. I'm going to check them off.
Is that a bucket item for you? Go to all 50 states?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It was a bit, yeah.
How many countries have you?
Oh, I couldn't even count. I couldn't.
Well,
a lot.
The question I have, Kym, is if you go back to California, are you going to consider that visiting a state or a new country?
Right. It is. It's like its own little country. My mom still lives there, and I go. And my favorite part about going to California is the food. I have to say, it's literally the best food in the country. Any type of food from any area. There really is there's just a variety of everything that you can think of.
California has some beautiful areas because I've been there, and when I was a kid, we lived there for a few years.
Yeah.
It seems like everywhere you go, there's a lot of people.
Yeah. Even Northern California, there's quite a bit. Yeah.
I grew up in a very lower to middle class family in Canada, where my needs were provided, but beyond that, the answer from mom and dad was, if you want it, go out and work for it.
Yeah.
Did you have and so there was an entrepreneurial sort of idea put into me at a very young age, at least probably from the time I was 9 or 10. Did you have a similar type experience to that?
It's funny. My mom was just here visiting, and she said, you've always been an entrepreneur. She said, you've always had that entrepreneurial side to you. And I agree. I remember we didn't have an abundance of money, and I wanted stuff, and I wanted to buy stuff, or I wanted to do stuff with my friends at school. So I would sell my stuff on any grass area that I could find. It's stuff that I didn't want to use. I'd gather it up and I would put it on grass, and I would sell it to anybody in the neighborhood.
Wow.
And I would trade. If I had a friend who didn't want one thing, I could trade with them and then sell whatever it was that they had. And there was a lady 2 apartments down, older lady, and I was playing outside one day, and she said, do you want to earn $10? And I said, sure. What do I have to do? She said, I need you to wash my stairs with a broom and water and get all of the stuff off of there, because they get really dirty. And she goes, you do that once a week, I'll give you $10. $10 was a lot back then. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So I started my own business washing this lady's stairs. The crazy part is I had 2 friends, Lynette and Arthur, who, when I couldn't wash the stairs, I had to be somewhere with my mom or I had another commitment. I would say, you guys go wash her stairs, and out of the $10, you can keep the $4 and I'll keep the $6. Because it's my client and you only know her because of me.
That's very well. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Grigg, a life and recovery coach with Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching. I've had the pleasure and privilege of helping people for over 25 years. I want to hear your story, support and encourage you while we partner together to help you reach your goals. I can help you. I am certain I can help you. I can be your guide, role model, resource person, and help you get results. What's my coaching frameworks? I'm an eclectic coach drawing from a variety of disciplines and frameworks with evidence-based proven methods. What would you like to work on? Some popular areas are goal setting and attainment, building and maintaining motivation, finding purpose, personal development, recovery from drug and alcohol addiction problems, health and wellness, life planning, athletic and creative artist performance enhancement, maybe something else. Just ask me. I would love to help you. You can find my services on Fiverr.com.
Welcome back to the third chair. And Kym, let's talk about your family for a while. So you talked about your husband, Tom, a little last week. And you said you met him when you were working together. Where were you working at the time?
We were at Homeland Security.
Oh, okay. Okay, and that's where he was a 15 and you were a 14. And, running the organization, but not happy. The employees must have been real fun. Did you start going out and like commiserating with each other about how your days went because you weren't happy, or how did you start getting together?
That was, we met, I had just transferred to Colorado Springs out of the DC area, and he was our security officer. He was like the guy in charge of all security, IT security. And we just really, we just hit it off. He was, I had seen him, he had traveled back to the East Coast quite a bit to launch some programs. He was in charge of all of the IT security. So I got to see him quite a bit, but we never really connected until I got transferred to Colorado. And he was just so down to earth and so nice and thoughtful and very well respected, very well liked by everybody. So we just hit it off and got along really well, worked very well together.
Last few years, there's an auditor for the Army. I specialize in security, and I always liked all the security people because they wanted to. They were very intense in their job, and they wanted. So anything we could do to help, they would appreciate it. They wanted people to be safe. That was their goal in life.
Yeah, he did all things security. So predominantly SysUp. He was an ISO. He did some cool stuff, but also physical security. So security clearances, physical security, IT security.
Covered it all. So how many kids do you have? Because you mentioned 3 earlier. 3 of them have licenses.
We do. We have a blended family, so we have 5 children altogether. All of them are ours. We don't say yours and mine. We just say ours. So we have 4 daughters and 1 son. Our son is the second to youngest.
Okay. So you have to put up with all these
Yeah. I said he's either going to be the best husband ever or he's never getting married.
Yeah, that's a good statement.
Or maybe
your daughters will bring all their friends around and give Tom a chance to check out the local ladies to find a good one for your son.
Yeah, nobody is good enough. Nobody. No. Nobody is good enough.
See some problems down the road. Now, Peter said he watched a moving video of your one of your daughters came home. She's a soldier and her coming home.
Yes, our daughter, our second oldest, she is active duty Army stationed in Germany. She's a combat medic, and her plan is to go to medical school. So she has gotten into the medical field. She has to be there for 2 years before she can get into the program.
Is she going to go in medical school through the Army?
Yes.
So the uniform services medical school. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she's already been. Is that at Fort Sam, Houston? Also.
I don't know. She's in Germany for 2 years, another 2 year. Well, she's still there, but when she comes back, I'm not really sure where she'll go. Probably Fort Sam. She was at Fort Sam for combat medic. Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know where they.
I think the medical school's out east. It's like Maryland or in that area. Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the hardest part of being a mother?
The hardest part of being a mother, man, that's such a good question. I think that you have to be, oh gosh, you just have to be human. You know, a lot of times as a parent, our children can put us on a pedestal, and if we make a mistake, they don't understand that we're learning and growing every day too. You know, we make mistakes. We're flawed. We're not perfect. So being able to say, you know what, Mom made a mistake. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. And I'm really sorry that happened. But getting them to understand we are perfectly imperfect. And so don't think that because I'm your mom, I'm going to do everything right. You know, Mom and Dad, we're flawed just like everybody else, but we can talk through anything.
You know, that's important, I think, in that. I think the younger they learn that, the better off it works preparing for the teen years. Anyway, yeah. Peter's kids all figured it out by teen.
Oh man, I have 3 daughters, Kym, and I was pathetic with them. They all had dark hair, nice olive skin, dark eyes. They would flash me the puppy dog eyes, and I was just like pathetic. It's like what do you want? A horse, a Barbie laptop, you know, just get my credit card out, we'll get it for you. So are you tougher with your daughters than Tom, or is he? Or do they kind of do the father daughter? I'm going to melt you thing with him too?
You know, I think we're pretty even. We are tough parents. And we just had one, as daughters, I will speak at parenting our daughters. It's always been important for us to protect our daughter's virtue. It's always been important for us to teach them, especially in today's society where there's selfies everywhere and girls are scantily clad and there's a lot of exposure. I don't want our daughters to feel they need to be that, to be loved and accepted and feel attractive. So I've always wanted to protect their virtue and have these talks with them. You know, even the music that you listen to, if it's music that berates a woman, you're brainwashing yourself with that's okay. If it's pictures that you're constantly taking of yourself, then there's a problem there, right? Love yourself in a healthy way and respect yourself, because if you respect yourself, other people will respect you. And the same for our son, you know, respecting women, holding the door, being kind, being generous, you know, being thoughtful. It's tough being a parent, and it's really hard being a parent of young people these days with so much going on, so much exposure with social media.
Boy, the internet's forever. You know, a selfie and. I remember when my daughter was in high school at Liberty, there was a case where a whole bunch of 12th graders were basically sending underage pictures of themselves and others to each other via text message.
had a scandal in Kansas City.
And they were lucky. The district attorney said, "I'm going to give you all a break. We call this a learning time, but you do it again, you're all going to be charged with making child porn." And it was a big deal. But even if it hadn't been frank nakedness, some of this stuff your employers can see forever. Your grandma can see, and you don't want that out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So when we come back, I'm going to give you time. What is the best thing about being a mother?
Got it.
Okay.
Coffee of the Kentucky-Arizona Walnut Association?
It's kava.
The national coffee of Kawasaki, Japan?
It's kava.
Hiya!
Is it the secret elixir of the surfers in Hawaii?
Or is it the secret island recipe of Kona, Koala, Kauai, or Cola? It's kava. Kava is Polish for coffee. Here at Kava Coffee, we focus on serving a delicious, high-quality cup of coffee in a space where love, coffee, and people mix into the perfect blend.
We value our relationships with our customers and our roasters. Buy locally whenever possible and truly have the homemade touch. Our pastries, syrups, and even our almond milk made in-house.
So come on in, relax, get some work done. Enjoy the Kava community, some encouraging words from the Kava Coffee gang.
Kava Coffee.
Be awake.
Welcome back to the third chair. We have Kym here, and she's going to tell us what's the best thing about being a mother.
Oh, they are the best part of me. Every day, every single day, they remind me that I need to be a better person, to love unconditionally, to have patience. They, all five of them equally they've taught me so much. I think that's probably the best part is I get to learn from them since they were little and now through adulthood, they're young adults. But now I get to learn so much from them and watch them. Really, my children are brilliant and they're beautiful and they're kind. And I could not be any more proud.
So what's the most fun thing you do with your family?
Okay, so this is fun for our family, except I am excluded. I have a bit of a competitive problem. And so on Sundays, it was game night at our home, although crazy competitive side does not like to play games and lose, and therefore I have been banned from all Sunday family game nights. But I'm a champion. I win everything. I can't help myself. And if I think I'm going to lose, there might be some table flipping. There might be some things thrown. So fun for the family, but mom's excluded. So
was this vote unanimous?
Oh yeah, I was voted off the island. You gotta go. I go upstairs. I don't, I'm in a different place.
Good. Oh, yeah, boy. So what was your favorite family vacation, or did they let you go on vacation with them?
Yeah. Wait, I'm well, because I pay for it, so of course they're like, sure. But yeah, we surprised our kids one year going to Mexico. It was the first time we had ever taken them. They were super young. They were so little, all of them. And we just decided, my husband and I decided that we were going to surprise them with a trip to Mexico and not tell them. So we got their passports. We got all of this stuff done. They were just really too young to kind of put it all together. And then at 4:00 in the morning, we had packed all of their suitcases. They didn't even know we packed their stuff. At 4:00 in the morning, we loaded them into our truck, drove them to the airport, and they're like, oh, are we going to California? This is kind of cool. But instead we took them to Mexico, and we stayed in this big, beautiful home in Sayulita. And it was just, incredible views, beautiful little town. And they got there going, oh my gosh, we're in another country. It was the first time they had been in another country. So that was probably the surprise, the look on their faces. It was pretty amazing.
Sounds neat.
So
you're in the military and you were an analyst.
Now, last
year I did some work with the U.S. Census Bureau,
and they told me, if you tell anybody about anything that you know from talking door to door, we're going to put you in jail for 10 years. Did they kind of tell you that as well when you left the analyst field?
They're very big on security. Really, I worked in a secret location. I worked what they call a skiff. And so you are raised in military intelligence to protect information at all times. So it really is drummed in your head all the time. Protect the information. Be careful what you say. I think for years and years and years, I think my friends and family, I think I told them I was a secretary in the military just because it would get me out of having to answer questions. And so I didn't have to answer questions. I wasn't in an uncomfortable situation. I'm pretty quiet anyway. So, it was easy to me, but yeah, they are pretty good about making sure you understand the law.
And so you don't talk about operations and where you went and all those kinds of things.
Nope. It's not that interesting.
Well, and we'll just leave it at that, so we don't have anyone come up with one visit either of us. And so earlier with the company, I saw on Instagram, you went to the Academy of Entrepreneurship. Looked like a giant party. Was there actually any learning going on there?
It was amazing. So there is a gentleman out of California. It's him and his son. His name is Gary Cornegay, and Gary Cornegay Jr., or G2 as we call him. But just like we like to coach other people, they coach us. And what do they coach us in? It's proper business development, understanding the product, believing in this crusade that we're in together. Our coach, Gary Cornegay, he's been mentored by Les Brown, he's a hero of mine. He's been mentored by Grant Cardone, who I follow him regularly. And he's been in our company for 33 years. And he's one of the highest paid people ever in the company. He's one of our multi-million-dollar earners. I think he makes $250,000 a month. And his gift is to just continue to give back to those who don't have the experience that he has. And so he created the Academy of Entrepreneurship. And so, you know, what he's done is not common. It's, you know, I mean, a lot of people make a lot of money, but what he does, not everybody has done. So he wants us to have some nuggets that can take us to another level. So wherever you're at in business, he wants to share with us proven concepts that'll just help elevate our business and our mindset.
Nice. And Arizona, do you like Arizona? Have you been there when it's really, really, really hot?
Yeah, whole summer. It was amazing. I loved it.
I guess I don't remember you as a snow bunny. And do you have a pool?
I have a pool. It's a beautiful pool. We bought a great house here in Gilbert. You know, in Colorado, when it was freezing outside, you would just stay inside. Well, here, when it's exceptionally hot outside, you just stay inside. So I've swapped the cold for the hot. And cars are air conditioned, restaurants are air conditioned. So the heat really, and I work from home, so the heat didn't bother us too much.
Have you seen many venomous snakes? You know, I have a love for venomous snakes.
I have not. I've seen scorpions.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get a picture for the next time we have you on the show.
Okay, I understand you're interested in keeping healthy. So you exercise every day. Well, what is your exercise routine?
I have a Peloton, and I love that thing. It is such a great way to de-stress. Peloton, every day it has programs. There's apps on my phone that come with Peloton, so you can do exercises, yoga, anything that you want. I take lots of walks also. Walking, you can think, you can listen to music, you can pray, you can just kind of be, you know, by yourself and do some deep thinking. So I do exercise regularly, and I have a healthy diet.
Kym, you said you had a healthy diet. How is it healthy?
Eating wholesome foods, lots of grain stuff, lots of, not a lot of processed foods. I don't eat late at night. I eat typically between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. I don't eat sugar. Sugar is just, I never grew up eating sugar. It's not something that interests me. So nothing over the top. I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian or a pescatarian. I really just eat what I want when I want within those hours.
Do you intentionally do intermittent fasting? Is it something like you named like an 8-hour eating window?
Yeah, it's just honestly, it's just kind of what fits into my schedule. Our mornings are pretty busy. We have school drop off and exercise and meetings, and so by the time 10 o'clock comes around, I'm starting to feel like I need something to eat. Which I don't let myself get too hungry because then I'll overindulge.
And you probably like monk fruit.
Yes, I
do. Me too.
Okay. And we'll talk a little more about your health and food. We come back after this break.
Welcome back to the third chair. Kym, we were talking about your diet, and you said you stopped eating at 6 o'clock. Sometimes you go to some of these conferences, and a lot of times I know on those, sometimes you only eat till 7 or 8 at night, so you just have to adjust.
I do. Yeah, I do. If I'm big on proper sleep, getting good quality sleep. And if I eat too late, I don't rest very well. So I will adjust if we have a later conference where the dinner is served a little bit later. Throughout the day, I always have snacks, or I'll have a Zip Fizz or something that kind of keeps me going until, and I won't even take my Zip Fizz after 2 o'clock. I usually stop right around 1:30, but just something that, I have to, I just don't like to eat too late in the evening.
And I understand you like to meditate. Can you tell us about that?
I think it's just very important to have some peace and quiet. And really, especially when you are a business owner and a parent and a wife and a friend, and you have so many moving parts, taking time for yourself is absolutely critical. Even if you don't have a hectic lifestyle like I have, I think taking a pause really is so important. If you always have this external noise, well, then you're going to have internal noise. And then when you have to focus on something, it's going to lead to distraction. Plus, stress, as we know, could cause illness in the body. It could cause a number of autoimmune diseases. It could really prohibit people from getting well. And so meditating, I think getting control of your body, of your mind, of your breathing. I mean, I'm no doctor like Peter, but I think meditation is helpful in a lot of ways.
I think there's a lot of research that shows it has.
Well, nobody's quite a doctor like you. So when you're meditating, because you work at home, that you tell like the kids and everybody, okay, this is mom time, and I'm going to be hiding out, or
I'm usually away from everybody there. It's usually during the time of day where I'm by myself already. Sometimes I will go out to our pool area and I'll sit near our pool, and it's just peaceful, and I have the waterfall going, so you can really get into that state of thinking. Is it theta, Peter, where you have all these great thoughts?
I always have to look that up because there's alpha, theta, and gamma.
Gamma, maybe. Yeah. You get into this state of mind where you're just at peace. And I have a lot of really good thoughts too when I meditate and just take a pause and getting my breathing under control. I watch Dr. Joe Dispenza quite a bit, also a lot of his YouTube channel, and really kind of talking about having some peace through meditation.
You said you also like to walk. Do you get some of that same feeling when you do these walks sometimes?
I do, but sometimes depending on the music I'm listening to, I can get a little charged up too. If I'm listening to AC/DC.
What music do you listen to when you get charged up?
Rock and roll, AC/DC, old school rock, you name it. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Now, do you want to, I know last episode you told us about your business and you gave us some addresses. Do you want to do that again?
Absolutely. If anybody would like to check out who we are and what we do and why we do it, they could go to our corporate site, which is www.primerica.com/Tom Welton. And that's Primerica, PRIMERICA.com/TOMWELTON. And that's, again, our website. It qualifies us, and you see all of our licenses and everything that we are qualified to do to serve our community and our clients. I'm also on Instagram, Kym Welton. I think you can find me through Ladypreneur100. That's 100. And my email address is just Kym Welton, KYMWELTON @gmail.com.
Thank you very much. These have been 2 great episodes. I enjoyed them both.
Thank you.
Bill. Thanks, Kym, so much for joining us. And maybe in a year or two, you'd like to come back and give us an update on how you've taken over the entire United States with your company.
Yes, goals.
Yeah, nice. It's good to have goals. Well, thank you very much. And we're going to ask our audience to please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you, and good night. That entertainment. We'll see you all next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This has been The Third Chair. Want to be a guest? Want to sponsor our show? Send us an email. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.